Thank you all for watching News Now from Fox. My name is Rain Augustine, and right now I am joined with Stacy Abrams. Stacy, thank you for speaking with us.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Well, it has been a long journey. How does it feel to not only be in the home stretch, but to finally see the day that Americans are electing the next president of the United States?
It's a great and I think important reminder that our democracy moves forward every year and every day, and that when voters stand up and speak their minds, we see the future that we're going to create.
So you recently tweeted, we must make a plan and make our voices heard. What did you mean by that?
We have been not in an election day, but an election season. And, in Florida, nearly 9 million Floridians have cast their ballots before today. And so, what we wanted people to think about is that disasters happen, difficulties happen, strange things happen in 2020. And so, we wanted people to know where they were going to vote and when they were going to vote. And as of today, the answer is you need to go to your local polling place. You can find that at iwillvote.com. And if you have an absentee ballot that you haven't returned, you can return it to your supervisor's office, but it has to be returned by 7 p.m.
Now, in Georgia, for example, Georgia has seen a record turnout, especially when it comes to the Black vote. Talk to me about the significance of voters in Georgia.
We know that Georgia is a battleground state. We're proud to be joining Florida and North Carolina in that status in the South. And it's coming about because of the demographic changes in our state, but also the work that's been put in to talk to Black voters in particular, to remind us not just of the legacy of voting, but the potential of voting. That voting isn't magic, but it's how we elect the leaders who are held accountable for our healthcare, for criminal justice reform, for housing, and for building an economy that works for all of us. And that's why I support Joe Biden, because he's the only nominee with a plan to actually serve all of America.
Now, there's been some allegations of voter suppression around the country. For example, in Harris County, Texas, there's only one ballot drop box to serve millions. What should people do if they run into any issues while trying to vote today?
First of all, don't panic. We knew voter suppression was going to be one of the tactics used. That's why I started Fair Fight, and that's why I'm proud to be a part of a consortium of organizations around the country whose sole purpose is to protect your right to vote. So number one, don't panic. Number two, don't leave the line. If you have questions, call 866-OUR-VOTE, 866-OUR-VOTE. And if you're in Florida, you can call 833-VOTE-FLA. Either one of those numbers will connect you to someone who can help you solve your problems, who can make certain you're in the right place, and can give you the rules of the road for where you are. But no matter what happens, do not leave the line, because voting ends at 7 p.m. in Florida. There are no do-overs. This is last call. So make certain you protect your right to vote, and don't be scared, don't be intimidated, and don't lose sight of the mission, which is casting your ballot and making your voice heard.
Now, from the global pandemic to civil unrest in our country, there has been a lot of uncertainty for Americans, but a lot of people are still hopeful for the future. So where do we go from here? What do you think is next for our democracy?
Number one, we have to find a way to not only survive COVID, but to recover from it. I support Joe Biden because he has a plan for recovery and because he's willing to admit that we have work to do. Unfortunately, Donald Trump has lied about it, has hidden the facts from us, and refuses to acknowledge that we are in the midst of a third wave, a third surge of COVID. But we also have to know that we have survived civil wars, the Spanish flu, world wars. We will get through this, but we get through this when we come together as a nation and decide that every voice counts and every person matters. And so I'm looking forward to electing not only Joe Biden, but here in Georgia, electing 2 U.S. senators, and around the country, leading the country towards a better outcome, because we have a plan to build back better, a plan to recover and to beat COVID. Encourage people, again, if you have an absentee ballot, make certain you return it by 7 p.m. to your supervisor of elections office. And if you are in line, don't leave, don't panic, don't leave, and happy voting.